Hello, welcome to day 4. Today we are going to focus on making the most of our day, and the scripture comes from Ecclesiastes. It's chapter 11, verses 7 through 10. And I'm going to let you read the entire scripture, but the phrase that jumps out at me is actually verse 10. And it says, "Banish anxiety from your mind and put away pain from your body." I feel like that's the perfect scripture for us today. Yes, we're only in day 4, but getting our bodies moving, starting to form our minds, wrapping it around some of these challenges, these thoughts, it's going to be difficult at times. And I just want us to remember that we can only grow through conflict. That's where we're going to get the best growth. I mean, if you think about when you're planting a seed, it's a lot of struggle underneath the dirt before it starts to emerge up through the dirt and into the sunlight. It takes a lot of oomph, I guess, and so we're going to need some of that to be able to get through this entire challenge. But part of the scripture is also that, when people are younger, they don't have to worry. They don't stress about where their next meal is going to come from. They don't worry about money or any of those kind of things. They just go through their day with maybe a little bit of ignorance. But the idea is that when we get older, we let these stresses and these anxieties weigh us down. And so today, given the scripture, and part of our activity for our reflection is to think about those things that do weigh us down, and how can we set those aside? How can we let them go? How can we unpack them so then we can really focus on having a positive attitude and have that excitement each time we say, oh, well, I get to do the discipleship 5K. I get to go out and do some exercise. I get to spend some time in scripture. So just kind of getting our minds set, unloading some of the stress and anxiety. So our reflection today, while we do our exercise, is to take a moment to just breathe. See if you can listen to your heartbeat. If you can't hear it, at least try to feel it, either at your pulse on your wrist or on your neck. Maybe just put your hand on your heart to see if you can feel it beat, and just get in touch with that internal feeling. And each time you start to feel anxious or you start to worry about something, remember to take that few moments to find that heartbeat, because that's what's telling you that you're alive, that you have a life to live, and that God has a purpose for you. So get connected with that heartbeat today as part of your reflection. And then also, I want you to think about physically, how do these physical challenges affect your heart? What are going to be some of the benefits that help you become healthier? How is it going to affect your heartbeat? And then spiritually, the same thing. How does your heart affect you spiritually? Think of all those scriptures about, God wrote on our stony hearts, or that we have a heart of gold. There's so many things that we can get connected to. Love your God with all your heart. We're actually going to talk about that tomorrow. But think about those things, that how it can negatively affect you and how it can positively affect you. And so we want to start thinking about those things, and how worry can cause us to just not slow down long enough to be able to realize that our heart is beating. And then just for our action to get our hearts beating, I want us to push ourselves a little bit. I want us to really feel our heart rate go up. I want us to feel our heartbeat so that it's pounding in our chest. Again, just to get that connection, to make us feel alive, to remember what it is that we're here for. So if you're on level 1, just try to push as hard as you can, your half mile or a quarter mile, whichever you're doing, but try to push yourself as fast as you can. If you're walking on a treadmill, maybe you kick it up from a 3 to a 3.5 for a few minutes, just to lose your breath. I think that's in the important part too, is that we want to remember that we're alive. We want to remember that God gave us this gift. We don't want to take each day for granted. So today, you got your scripture. We want you to spend some time reading it. I want you to reflect on it and spend some time on the questions to think about what are our benefits, and then think about those stresses that we can put aside so that we can focus on doing the best for our bodies and our hearts, and then get out there and push it. All right. Seize the day. Carpe diem. Have a great one.